So next, we're going to be talking a little bit about the vehicles and how to how to figure out when your car is empty and it's not what that little dial says, and some ideas about storing fuel, about different ways of cooking in a grid down situation. And so let's hear it for our long-term members, Bill and Ellen.
I could get it done in 2 minutes probably, but anyway, I'm not a talker like Rick. Um, Basically, the idea on your car is a rule that Ellen keeps nagging me about is keep your car full. If it gets less than half, you need to go fill it up. Um, and she reminded me of the when the one of the last not earthquakes. I'm thinking of California. The hurricanes hit a lot of people. We had a little warning, and people were going to the gas stations and filling up, and they soon ran out of fuel. And if the ones that did have it had big long lines, so it was really difficult for a few days to find gas stations with gas. So it's a good idea to keep them full. I would suggest that you have, well, my urban survival guide guru says 1 to 3 5-gallon containers full of unleaded gas on hand. Keep it. People like me live in a small condo. There's not many places that put 3 5-gallon jugs of water, but I mean gas. But you should have at least one, so in case you have to bug out. If you're in an urban situation like LA and things get real hairy and it's going to be a while, you want to get out of there anyway. So you're not going to bug in place as a last resort. So you want to have enough fuel to get wherever your remote bug out place is. So you want to get out of an urban environment. That's just not good. There's all kinds of reasons for that. Cooking. In LA, we always had a big grill in our patio and extra cans of propane. So that's a good way of storing fuel so you can cook for quite a while.
Well, we had 20-pound propane tanks. That's what we always carried.
The big jug about like so, but there's also other things you can do to cook. We have here in our small condo out on the patio because we can store these little propane stoves, these little tiny ones, your butane or whatever it is, some kind of gas fuel, so you can cook for short amounts of time with those. And don't forget storing matches, way to light stuff. It's a flint magnesium fire starter. You got to be able to start your grill. Here, where we are in Clearwater, if it's a long time bug out, we're going to bug out to up north. So we'll have all that handled up there. So you got one thing about OPSEC, operational security on cooking too. If you're cooking, let's say it's several days into the grid going down or whatever, and 90% of the people out there didn't prepare, they're going to smell what you're cooking. They're going to see the smoke. They can smell what you're cooking, which cannot be a good situation. Your neighbor across the way who's got 3 kids and they're out of food, he's going to do whatever he takes to find food. So he's going to be at your place looking for it and doing whatever it takes. So it isn't the optimum situation. I always found that I always used to tell people to, that's not cooking, but I stored cases of organic rice milk from Trader Joe's. It had like a year life shelf, year lifespan on it, and protein powder that lasts forever too. And I figured I could live for quite a while on that, weeks if not months. So Roberta had some good solutions on wood stoves, the little small wood stoves that you can just put wood scraps in, and you can cook your food that way. Ellen bought a thing. We haven't even opened it yet, but it's a wood stove too. You can put in, small pieces of wood. It's only like so big, at least the package is. And you can also, it'll charge make enough energy where you can charge your phone.
It has a converter inside the stove that converts the heat into electrical energy, and it'll charge your phone or charge something that you want to charge.
Yeah. So there's lots of different stoves out there. You can do research on what's best for your situation. If you got a big house with good security, I would go with a big grill and plenty of tanks. You can cook forever. One thing I want to add is you got to have water. So have a water purification system. We have little jugs you can go get water anywhere and run it through there and suck it out of a ditch or whatever, life straws, that sort of thing. So you need the liquid too. That's more important than the food. So that's about all I got. Is there any questions? Feel
Good.
free.
Well, we do have a comment in chat, which is important, and that is that if you do need to store gasoline or maybe propane or something, but those things have to be stored correctly. There has to be ventilation. You need a stabilizer in order to get them to last. And Rick has that data that we can pass on to you. He's given it in earlier trainings, but you don't just go put a bunch of gas in a plastic container and stick it somewhere. Make sure that you get the hat on how you do that.
I got one comment on Jeff's talk about operational security and gray man stuff. My guru that I read about, he said instead of storing yourself in tactical bags in his car, he'd put them in big white trash bags and put a label on it that said dirty diapers. Put it off limits for people wanting to steal it. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Boxes in your closet with your stored food that say hats, Christmas gifts, yarn.
And I'd like to contribute something as well.
Yeah, ready.
I also picked up a Coleman stove. Remember the old Coleman stoves where you pumped up the gas? Well, they now have them where you can attach a propane connector to it, so you can actually run it off your propane tanks. And the nice thing about them is you can control the burners. You've got an actual stove rather than just a big grill. So you could have it like next to your grill and use it however either that or a grill, depending on what you're cooking. But they're not very expensive. And anyway, it's another thing to look at.
Very good.
Yeah.
I have also something to add to it.
Yes.
If you have a high pressure cooker, then that will, make you very efficient in your cooking and your gas use. But also it will protect that the cooking smell is not going all over the place. It stays in the cooker.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so it'd be smartest probably not to get an electric pressure cooker. Get one that you could put on a stove.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the stones. My mom
Right.
used to cook in it all the time. Big, heavy cast iron with the whistle on the top. It was great.
All right.
Pressure cooker.
Okay. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Randy. And thanks, Ellen and Phil. Well, let's give them a hand.